More now from France 24's Nick Spicer in Berlin. Nick, how are the authorities there reacting in the face of these rising numbers?
Well, the health minister, Jens Spahn, said that we were by no means out of this pandemic, which he called a pandemic of the unvaccinated, and that he said the fourth wave was hitting Germany with full force. And the head of the Robert Koch Institute, which is the scientific institute advising the government, said that the reasons for the numbers, which he called shocking, were basically people ignoring the guidelines and not getting vaccinated. So it's a situation where we're back at a level we had in December 2020, which the streets all around me were completely emptied of people. Berlin felt like a ghost town, but now the city is full of people, albeit wearing masks. So it's a strange situation to be in, to hear those numbers, to cast our minds back to how things were when they were that high before, and the measures that were in place then. Things seem to be going back to quite a bad place.
Sure. And I mean, when we think of Germany and its track record with Covid-19, we think of a poster child, a country that has done much better than perhaps some of its neighbours. Things seem to have changed quite significantly.
That's true. It went from being poster child to problem child to back to being, in the middle. The vaccine was invented in Germany by a couple here, the BioNTech-Pfizer vaccine. So there were lots of the COVID story really took place in this country. And I think one of the structural problems they have in Germany, of course, is this is a federation. So 16 regional health ministers will be meeting with the federal health minister today in Bavaria to try to come up with a common approach, because it's a patchwork of measures. So you have some landers, they're called, or provinces, which are really in the forefront. Bavaria, for instance, the premier there saying children are going to have to wear masks again. I've decided. It's not Berlin that decides. Another element of, well, not chaos, but of uncertainty is that they're forming a new coalition government. There's a caretaker government in place here in Berlin. And the health minister that I was referring to earlier has been warned by a future member, possibly, of the next coalition government that they mustn't take drastic measures because they don't have the full legitimacy of a fully elected government, because they're on the out. So that adds another element of uncertainty and slowness to the decision making, which is, frankly, another source of concern. The situation is different now. We have a vaccine. There is more uptake, but Germany's only got 66% of the population vaccinated. So it's far from being in the vanguard of countries, given the availability of vaccines. There's a lot of resistance still.
OK, well, thank you very much indeed for bringing us up to speed. France 24's Nick Spicer in Berlin.